Hey guys, Rick here. How are all my hair comrades today? Listen, a bit of a discussion. Hair transplant or hair system? The best way to have this conversation or to begin this conversation is to tell a story. I have a friend who I cut his hair, and several years ago he had a hair transplant. He was balding, of course. His front hairline was receding, and so he goes and has it done. You know, what they do is that hair must come from somewhere, so they harvested the hair they transplanted from the back of his head, kind of underneath, about midway down, and they planted it all across the front. And so, planted it is kind of the correct word, because it looked a bit like it had been planted. You could tell, or I could tell for sure, that he had had a hair transplant. I mean, it's not thick, glorious hair that gets transplanted because they can't take that much. It's enough to cover your head, but you're not gonna have this with a hair transplant. Not anywhere close with that. The problem is this: after a couple of years, he went, "I've got a bald spot." I said, "Well, yeah, because your hair's continued to bald. Your hairline is continuing to recede. Plus, he's getting a bald spot back here." He makes another appointment. He gets the second hair transplant. They take more hair from the back and they plug it all in up here in the top. And so he's got enough hair now to cover the top of his head. At present, he is about to go back for the third transplant because he's lost more hair and his balding area is larger. Here's the problem that it represents for me, is that now, because of all that harvested hair in the back, I can't do a haircut on him like I've got. I can't do a fade. I have to leave all of that longer because we have to cover up those scarred places where that hair was harvested for the transplant. I am only speaking for his situation and a few others that I know that I have seen. So now with the third hair transplant, I ask, where in the world are they going to get the hair? Because it's got to come from back here somewhere, and there's precious little area back there to get it. So I don't know how that's gonna work exactly for him, but he's gonna go the third time. It does cover his head, but it's not, you don't get a hair transplant and have this thick, glorious hair. You have a hair transplant to have hair to cover your head and to comb around. You lose a lot of options with haircuts because of where that hair was harvested. You're gonna lay down several $1,000s to make this happen. And I am happy for them. And I've talked to guys who've done it and it went that route. And I have weighed their experiences against mine, against clients that I have, against all the super hair pieces, guys that I know and that I have helped. And to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't do that transplant thing for the world. As a matter of fact, it was offered to me. A company sent some communication to me and said, "Rick, if we would give you a complete total hair transplant for free, would you be an influencer for our company?" And so I responded and I said, "Thank you so very much. I appreciate that vote of confidence, but I am so happy with what I'm doing and the results that I get that I think I'm going to just continue doing what I'm doing." And so there's a few more communications because of it, and I finally had to just say, because I don't like the way it looks. I just don't. I want more than that. So hair transplant, I get it. You have it done, then it's your hair. After that, the end, almost the end, not really the end if you don't mind going back 3 or 4 times and shelling out all of that dough. So yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. Plus the look's not great. So how much trouble is a hair system? So you guys have seen my video when I have always a spare hair system, at least one, and more than that right now. And so I'll remove it after 5 to 7 days. I will do it more often than not, simply because I like the way a fresh attachment feels, and because it doesn't take any time. It's no hassle for me. So I will take it off and I will put it into soak, as you guys know, into a dish with the C22. With the system's been dabbed with cotton, C22's been put on it, it's up to soak. When I get a minute and I'm sitting watching TV one night, I'll run and get it and put it in front of me and kind of rub, all the glue off of it and wash it and clean it up. So I'm doing it while I'm wasting time in some way. But to get a system on my head that's in waiting for me, takes me less than 10 minutes. It's just wham bam, thank you ma'am, if you don't mind the phrase. Then I have so many styling options. This is a little bit curlier. This by the way is the M111. It is an 8 mil thick skin, and I really enjoy the hair that's on this unit. This one has got a body wave. It's a little more curl than what it normally has, which I literally absolutely love. And so you will notice the style on this. I have a video coming to describe this shadowing the front hairline, because the first day I do this, it's undetectable with the M111, it is. And today it pretty much is, but because I'm so paranoid about it, I have done that whole thing where I've brought this hair down and back, so it kind of comes down on my forehead and then back. It doesn't really look that that's what I've done, and then just kind of let it be curly. If you want something that's a tank, it'll last you forever, practically, well, M111's your choice, particularly if you don't have an exposed hairline, then yoo-hoo, way to go. But anyway, back to the hair system and the transplant. So to choose the transplant way, you think you're one and done, but you're not. You're probably 1, 2, 3, and then probably still not done. You're not going to carry it out. So a hair system, lots of options, lots of styling options, lots of base options, on and on and on. And when I first started this, it took me more than 10 minutes. There was a bit of a learning curve, but it's like everything else, practice makes perfect, right? The choice is yours. Nobody's gonna twist our arms as to what to do. You can either choose to stay bald, you can go get a hair transplant, or you can do a hair system. If you're asking me what my preference is, hair replacement route has been presented to me and I turned it down. Now, I really must be convinced that this is the way to go. There are pros and cons, I suppose, to it all. A pro to hair replacement is your hair on your head. You don't have to glue it on, stick it on. Yeah, but with a hair replacement, it's really your hair. Isn't that going to just feel so much better because there's nothing on your head? I should have a video of testimonials to guys who say, I can't feel it on my head. I just did a young man. He texted me 2 days later. He said, it's only been 2 days and I've already forgotten it's on my head. It is literally transparent to look at, transparent in feeling it. The cons are a little bit of maintenance. You have to keep replacing them. With super hair pieces, it's around, $199 for a lot of their systems. They have some that are more. The M111 that I have on, I'm scared to quote the price because I'm not real sure, but you can look on their website and find out. I hope that helps you a bit if you're on the fence about hair systems or hair replacement. That's my take on it. That's the experience that I've had and things that I have seen. So have a good one. Let's go to the lake. Oh, you know what? You want to talk about that? Go to the lake, get on some skis, get on a jet ski, get on a boat, get on a motorcycle, ride in a convertible. Yeah, let's just put it real short and sweet. It's all good, not a problem. See you guys later. Have a great one.